So I am going to consider Jimmy Butler as a small forward, because I don't think he's a shooting guard at this point. So he could be making an appearance in this video. But I feel like the small forward conversation is the least suspenseful one of the 5 positions. LeBron James is number 1, so we're just going to start here. Like, the sky is blue, water is wet, Jay-Z is the best rapper of all time, and LeBron James is the best player in the NBA. The Jay-Z comment might cause some controversy. That's kind of the point of it. What do I even tell you about LeBron James that you don't already freaking know? Let's just speculate on when he's going to start being not incredible when it comes to everything on the floor. His 3-point shot came back this season. That could have been a concern, but he seemed to fix that one up right away because he's a robot who can just go somewhere in the summer and then learn how to shoot like Reggie Miller. He's not like Reggie Miller, but his 3-point shot is back. Credit to LeBron. His free throws seem to be the one thing he still hasn't figured out. You can find a whole bunch of articles of like him just mentally going nuts at the free throw line. So many different free throw routines, and he's constantly in his own head with that stuff. But I think he's going to be fantastic this season, probably the year after that. Honestly, given how focused he is when it comes to like staying good and where we are with technology and stuff, could he not play until he's like 39? I don't think it's out of the question. Number 2 is Kevin Durant. I guess the question with Durant would be, could he surpass LeBron James? Because in my opinion, Durant would be the second best player in the NBA. I don't think it's going to happen this year. I think LeBron's going to hold on to that title still. Unless Durant just goes freaking God mode, which I guess is on the table because he fits in so well with the Warriors. I've been hearing some talk about Durant for the MVP. I don't know, man, just because of he's going to have to get his shots, Curry has to get his shots, and then Klay Thompson has to get his as well. There might be too many bodies in Golden State shooting the ball to where Durant might not be able to average 30-plus points a game. He might be putting up a super efficient 26 a game, which might knock him down from the MVP consideration. Or the voters just won't vote him because he's already got Steph Curry on his team. I don't know. But Durant's great, and his improvements defensively have been kind of the fuel to me putting him number 2. Well, then again, I probably would have considered him the second best player in the league for quite a while, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Kawhi Leonard, number 3. Best perimeter defender in the league, and then just everything else the dude does offensively. San Antonio scares me a little bit this season, just because there's not a lot of defenders on this team. There's Kawhi and there's Danny Green. But given how good the two of those two are, they might just be okay, especially when you got Greg Popovich still running the show. What I want to see from Kawhi this year, I mean, I've said this a million times, just average a few more assists a game. If there's anything else, I don't know. I mean, he's kind of developed this mean streak to him. He's not like screaming on the floor or getting in guys' faces like that because he's the most straight-laced dude ever. But he's just kind of heartless. You know, he's got that Kobe Bryant mentality where he'll just steal the ball from Ben McLemore 2 straight times and rip the guy's soul from him. Or he'll hit 1,000,000 shots against the Grizzlies and somehow the Grizzlies still win the game. That was the most insane playoff game ever. But Kawhi, he keeps getting better, man. It's actually like, it's a little obscene where Kawhi Leonard just refuses to have a ceiling. But I do think as a scorer, he may be at that point now. And if he's at that point, combined with what he is defensively, then he's insane. Giannis at number 4. I think this is where I can start talking about guys who have actual weaknesses. Some weaknesses, a little bit. Giannis can't shoot. That's the big one. He is about as good as you can be with not being a factor from the three-point line and not really one from mid-range as well. They didn't run him exclusively at point guard, which is probably a good idea, I guess, because you got Malcolm Brogdon and whatever. But I could see Giannis taking on even more ball-handling duties for this upcoming season. He averaged, over 5 assists a game this previous season while averaging about 9 rebounds a game. I mean, he might have been one of the 10 best players in the league this previous season, man. 23 points, 9 boards, 5 assists. Super efficient from the field. Also attempted about 8 free throws a game where he shot 77% from there. All we're waiting on is the jump shot at this point with him. The jump shot, and I do think he has another level he can get to as a passer. And it's just, I mean, is it not fair to think he could be the best player in the league one day? I think it's not out of the question. He's got a long time to improve. He's only 22 years old. And now number 5. This one is between two guys. Number 1 is Paul George, who's going to be awesome in OKC, and I can't wait to see it. The other one is Jimmy Butler, who's also going to be awesome in Minnesota, although I do fear the overall makeup of that team. The big thing with these two, they're both great defensively. Paul George is a better shooter. He's one of the best mid-range shooters. He's excellent from 3. Jimmy Butler is better with the ball in his hands, even though the clip I'm showing now is of a defensive one, but whatever. I think I'm going to give the slight nod to Jimmy Butler because I just like his creating abilities a little bit more. But there is no wrong answer, and if you ask me the same question 2 days from now, I might tell you Paul George because it's that close of a conversation between these two guys. But I just think Butler's, 5 assists a game plus, combined with the fact that he was a pretty good three-point shooter this season, I just think that gives him a slight edge over Paul George. But once again, if you're going to select Paul George, I'm not going to fault you at all because Paul George is really freaking good.